In this video, we're going to talk about what PowerShell Universal Desktop is. The desktop mode of PowerShell Universal allows you to run PowerShell Universal as a desktop application rather than a server application. Looking at my desktop here, you can see that I have PowerShell Universal Desktop running as a tray icon down here. If I double click that, it's going to open the PowerShell Universal Desktop application. This is running under my user context rather as being run as a service like you would with the regular MSI that you installed from our website. In desktop mode, everything runs under your context. So scripts, jobs, and schedules, they all run as your user and not as a service account or anything like that. That means they have access to your documents. They're running in your user context. So if you need to authenticate against things, it's already running as you. Additionally, desktop mode offers a bunch of features that are not available in the server mode. These actually integrate directly with the Windows desktop. So first of all, we have file associations, and that's the ability to launch PowerShell scripts when files are opened. So we're going to have subsequent videos that actually go through each one of these features, but I'll just kind of talk about the basics of them now. So in this case, you would associate a file extension with a script, and then it would start that script when you double-click that file inside Windows Explorer. Next, we have global hotkeys. Hotkeys allow you to run PowerShell scripts by using keyboard shortcuts. So when you create a hotkey, you get to specify a key, a modifier, and then a script that you want to run when you press that keyboard shortcut. Next, we have protocol handlers. Protocol handlers allow you to launch PowerShell scripts with custom protocols. Custom protocols are typically used for things like clicking something on a website and launching a local application. So you can think of VS Code doing this. Zoom does this. So when you click a Zoom link in a website, it may say, do you want to open this with Zoom? Well, you can establish a protocol on your machine to actually launch PowerShell scripts inside PowerShell Universal Desktop with a particular protocol. This pairs really nicely with the PowerShell Universal Server Edition, where you could actually have links on your server and then have your users have PowerShell Universal Desktop configured with a particular protocol to launch a PowerShell script locally. Finally, we have system events. So system events are pretty much WMI persistent events. So if you actually click this create new system event, you can see that you can name it, have different event types like create, delete, and modify. And then you can specify a WMI query here. And in this case, we could specify something like a PowerShell process being created. And you can even like query the process name and that kind of thing. And then finally, that would execute a script. So every time a process is started or a particular type of process, you could actually run a PowerShell script locally on your desktop. PowerShell Universal Desktop doesn't have any authentication configuration settings or anything because it's all just running as your local user, but you still can take advantage of a lot of the other platform settings. You have things like modules, variables, translations, and even user interfaces. So we actually have a couple special commandlets for Universal Desktop where you can pop up user interfaces outside of this Universal Desktop window and have kind of like a custom dashboard that is just displayed as a single tool window inside PowerShell Universal Desktop. So I would say to go check out our other videos that cover this topic and learn more about PowerShell Universal Desktop mode.